Be careful, because I've seen the IRS go after. We've had some professional clients that were even paying themselves over $100,000. The IRS came and go, that's not enough for the specialization that you're actually making this money off of. And this is the part where it's a planning opportunity, but this is where the IRS leans in and go, here we go. Let's see what he says. If you pay yourself a reasonable salary, what you'd have to pay, because as a business owner, you're in this weird situation. You have two things going on. You work in the business, but then you own the business. You have two different pay structures. Any business you do working in the business is something you'd have to go hire an employee to do. There should be wages for that. Now, if you own a company, there can be essentially your investment in the capital investment into this business and the flow through that comes out just because you now made opened up this endeavor. That can be separate, and that doesn't necessarily, that's not a wage because you didn't work in the business. That's more of an investment, so it doesn't need the Social Security and Medicare on it. And the way you do that is you pay yourself a salary for what the work in the business is, and you collect the money. They still pay income tax on all of this, but you just avoid paying the Social Security and Medicare or the self-employment tax on that. You have to be honest with yourself as what you're worth to the company. Now, it's in the first 2 or 3 years that you start a company, I think the IRS even gives you some grace because they realize, holy cow, you're doing this, you're bootstrapping it. You probably you couldn't afford to pay anybody to do this job. So, but I always tell people as you start getting traction, be honest, and because I've sat in audits, I always tell people you want to be on really solid ground with the government when you sit in those audits. Because they do pay attention to this stuff. That's why it makes me cringe a little bit when somebody says, well, it doesn't matter if you make $300,000, $400,000, just pay yourself $25,000, $30,000 a year. The IRS will love you. And I'm like, no, well,
not quite.